Hello WordPress nerds, so welcome back to another video of building headless WordPress web app using Next.js. So in our previous video I showed you how to log in users using JWT token, and in this video I'm going to show you how we can prevent pages from users without login. So for example, if I click on home page, currently I'm not logged in, so it will redirect us to the login page. If I click on blogs, so it will again redirect us to the login page. Now let me log in and let's see what happens. So now it redirected us to the home page and we are able to access the blogs page as well. And if I log out, and then again if we try to access any of the pages, we are not able to do that. So by the end of the video you will be able to do this. So let's jump into the code. Before jumping into the code, if you are into the Gutenberg development and if you want to dig deeper inside Gutenberg, then I would suggest to check out this website called wpvoyage.com. The link is into the description section. So here you will understand the Gutenberg editor, and there are many tips and tricks for Gutenberg editor development. So I would suggest please go and watch out. So now let's jump into the code. So I'm gonna open my headless WP Next.js repo, and I will open the terminal and I will start the server. So npm run dev. Okay, server has been started. Now if we let me make a hard refresh. So currently we are able to access these pages without login. Now let's make these pages not accessible without login. So let's start. Oops, sorry. So I'm gonna open the Next.js middleware. So we are going to use Next.js middleware. So what is middleware? So middleware allows you to run code before request is completed. So in this middleware we will check the token, so the access token. We will check the access token, that if the token is valid or not inside the middleware, and if the access token is valid, then we will we will allow user to access whatever they are accessing, otherwise we will redirect them to the login page. And now as we are using next-auth, so next-auth also uses middleware, so we will follow their instruction as well. So first, in the middleware we have to create this file called middleware.ts on our root. So this is my Next.js app root. I will create middleware.ts, ts or js, whatever it makes sense. So once you add this, you see the notice over here that something secret is missing or something like that. So answer for that warning is here inside the next-auth middleware. So for that we have to define next-auth secret in the environment file. So I will define that secret over here, and that secret will be whatever you want, anything random. Okay, let me just not add anything. Okay, once next-auth secret is added, I am getting that middleware must export something. Currently our middleware is empty, so let's add some lines. So let's add this line, basic usage. So I will copy this and I will add this line. So now our error will be gone, and if we go to our app, it will redirect us to the sign in page. So if we try to access this, it is redirecting us to this sign in page, but our sign in page is different. This is next-auth's default sign in page. So I will make our page as a sign in page. So for that we have to go inside pages API auth next-auth.js. So here we will add another parameter called pages. So here we can define which page you want to set as a login page or error page. So I will go ahead here, and I will add sign in, and sign in page will be login page. Now let's see what happens. So now if I try to access this page, okay, we have too many redirects. So yeah, it's obvious because we prevented whole site and we added this our custom login page as a login page, so it will keep redirecting to the our default page, but we already prevented this page as well. So let's prevent only two pages, one is home page and another one is blogs page, so that we can access our custom login page. So for that we have to use this config. So let's export config in our middleware.ts, and I will prevent only homepage and blogs. Now let's see, and let's reload the page, and now we are able to access this login page. So if I click home page, it will redirect us to the login page. If we click blogs page, again it will redirect us to the login page. So now we prevented these pages. Now let's try to log in. And we are able to access this home page now. If we click on blogs, let's go to single blog. Let's log out. Let's click on home page. Okay. Now we want to check the token, whether it is valid or not. So if it's not valid, it should automatically log out. So for that we will use JWT token. So by this API we created token, and by this API token validate, we are validating token. So to validate this token in the headers, we have to pass the authorization thing and then bearer space whatever token we get over here, we will pass that over here and send the request. So it will check and give us the status of validation. So if it's valid, we get this code. Otherwise, let me add a wrong one. Otherwise, it will give us the invalid token status. So let's copy this. So we will use this token code. Sorry, we will use this code. So for that, so as we are using JWT token, so we have to verify that token in the middleware. So what I'm gonna do is I will go to the advanced usage. So from here I'm gonna copy this code section, and yeah, this was not the ideal solution, this is just a basic. So here we are going to do a ideal solution where we will be checking the our access token. So here we see these two functions, one is middleware and another one is authorized. So here is the middleware function which is responsible for validating the token. So once the token is validated over here in the authorized section, authorized function or callback, then this middleware callback will be executed, and whatever we action do over here will be applied to our Next.js app. For example, our token is validated, we will keep redirecting users to wherever they want, and if the token is not validated, it will never go inside this function, and then it will automatically redirect them to the login page. So this is the middleware's feature. So here I'm gonna put this multi-line because we will be using this validation API over here. So if the API is giving this code, then we will return true. So here, before doing that, as the middleware need this next request with auth parameter, so I will go inside Next.js middleware tutorial or documentation. Then I will, so we want to return this, that's it. This is the only thing we need to do, and we will not redirect, but we will rewrite. But for that we need this request of Next.js, so I will use this, and here we need next request, so I will import the next request from next server. And then I will remove this. So once we are logging, we want them to redirect to the request.url. Now let's see what happens if we add this. So I'm going to access the home page. Okay, sorry, I think server is closed. So I will run npm run dev. So there is syntax error. Okay, let me get just return true. Okay, there was some syntax error. Next response is not defined. Why? So we import next request but forgot next response. I will import that as well. And now refresh. So it says rewrites is not functions. I will remove s. Okay. So now we are able to access this page because we are always sending true from this callback. But now here we will be actually checking our token using this API. So I will use request equal to fetch and fetch and we need this URL. So this URL we will pass. Now I already defined this constant till here. So I will get rid of this and I will open the environment. This is the constant. So let's use that constant process.env dot constant plus this, and then we will pass arguments header. So we have to pass headers. In the header we will pass two things. One is why it is giving us an error again. So yeah, as we are fetching something, this should be a sync method, and then we will pass our argument, which is authorization. So in the authorization, we will use bearer space token dot, we pass our token using this parameter token dot access token. So we will get our access token over here, and so let's see what is happening here. If we refresh this, we should be getting an error. It is saying token of access token we are not getting. Why? We should be getting because we are passing it through here, but still it is saying that it is not accessible. And let's say we are getting lot of error. I'm not sure why. If I remove this, okay, we have to return this. So fetch. So our request is done. And then I will check the response. Then we will check if login token dot code equal to valid token, then return true.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we need, first of all, we need this next response here. So our red lines are gone. Now, so fetch is by default get method. So I will define method to post. So now let's see. Still we are getting this error. So yeah, because this access token will available only after the login. So what I'm gonna do is that if I'm gonna check if token access token, So if we get this token, then run the whole block. So yeah, if we get token, then we will validate the token. So once we validate this, then we will return true, and then it will execute the middleware function where it will rewrite the request.url. This URL will be the page URL which we are going to access. So now we don't need this line, so I'm gonna remove that. So now let's try to refresh this. So yeah, now it is redirecting to the login. So let's click on home. So we don't get any access token, so it won't return true, so it won't go here, and it will redirect to the login page. Now let's try to log in. So once we log in, we will get this access token, as well as then we will validate the token, and then if we get true, then it will redirect us to the wherever it redirecting. So let's log in. Login is successful, and still it is not redirecting. So let's hard refresh the page. So now it is allowing us to access the page. I'm gonna log out and I will log in. So now it is working fine. So it needs to hard refresh once we make change code, and if we click on the blogs, it will redirect us to the blogs page. Let's click on this single page, and we are getting the single page. Let's log out. So once we log out, if we click on the page, it won't allow us to access the page. So let's revise what we did. So we add middleware, and we add this method called withAuth. So in withAuth, we check our token. If token is valid, then we return true over here, and then we rewrite our URL so that it allows us to access the page we want. Otherwise, if we don't get true from here, this won't execute, and it will always redirect us to the login page. So this is how it works. This might be confusing, but yeah, if you follow the documentation properly, then you will be able to do this easily. So yeah, if you have any doubt or question, please write down below in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video.